So here's the real reason why the 2DS is, well, being the 2DS. Now, before I go into this and discuss it for my channel, I want to give a lot of credit to a dog in my lens. She brought up this point last night, having a brief conversation with me about it, and we were both joking a lot about the device. You know, she called it a Saiyan speed. Oh, it was pretty funny. I called it an Etch-a-Sketch. You know, we were just having a good old time. So, long story short, she brought up one very solid fact about this. Now, she said it was not really anything to do with kids. It was something to do with versus patents, versus paying out for patents. And recently, now I have a link down below in the description, there was a issue where Nintendo lost a court case against a former 3D engineer from Sony. So this guy got over $30 million in damages, or he's going to be receiving that much from Nintendo. So Nintendo has to try to redesign this device. I mean, the Nintendo 3DS, I mean, as a solid console in 2D mode, the frame rates are pretty decent. The games are starting to get a little bit better when it comes to selection now. So it's definitely not a bad handheld. I can see what they're trying to do with this. They're trying to do... I mean, she pointed all these out to me, and it was common sense. It was very true. So, she said that while it may look ugly at first, it makes a lot of sense. You know, while I'm not going to be buying one of these anytime soon, I'm probably not going to ever, it's still that Nintendo said, okay, we need to design something that's not going to allow any sort of 2D at all, but at the same time, any old compatible software that needs 3D, we're just going to try to keep that fragment alive. So they kept the two, cameras in the back, they kept one camera in the front, because the old AR card software can work with this 100%. Now, hopefully Nintendo then realizes, hopefully makes a custom firmware for this, that way it doesn't require necessarily all of that, but just gives enough for people to use the AR cards or any sort of any of those barcodes. So that's pretty much, I believe, how that camera works altogether, because there's some sort of special coding that makes those two lenses work, and yeah, that's pretty much how that works. I mean, other people can watch your 3D or look at your 3D videos if you happen to record them with the said cameras, but past that, it isn't really that spectacular or special. So, moving back on to the main subject here, Nintendo developed this pretty much to save their own ass and save a ton of money. Is it the smartest thing they ever done when it comes to design? Yes and no. While, again, I was pretty much poking light at the device, making fun of it, at the same time, I can see smartly how they've designed this console, and she brought this herself. She said that this is a smart move. It makes more sense because they're trying to make sure it does not become an overall factor that they have to keep on paying out money after they sell a freaking console or whatever else for units. So instead they just developed this freaking thing. It looks like this big bulky ass sandwich of a Game Boy, and it has one speaker on there. It has it doesn't look very pretty at all. I mean, it just looks like a Tinker Toy, as far as I'm concerned. So, that's generally the fact of it all, is that Nintendo lost a court case, and they redesigned their new DS product to both not use the 3D software, or not use the 3D technology at all, and be able to shortcut around and make parents feel like they're getting something valuable for their kids and enjoy the modern games. Because a lot of people anyway don't really use the 2DS, or at least use the 3D capabilities of the device anyway. I don't, personally. I mean, it's alright every once in a while just to say, okay, what's the immersive nature of these games? And sort of slide up the gauge and see what it looks like, then push it down because it doesn't interest me as much. Or it does not work as well, such as Tales of the Abyss did not really use 3D too well anyway, so I mean, most companies really stopped using it or getting really lazy with using the technology. But that's generally that. I'll be posting the description down below of what's going on with the whole court case, what happened, and why this is about now. So it makes sense, I suppose. It wasn't sort of a spur of the moment. It was just sort of a, hey, we're going to divine this piece of shit and you're going to probably buy it. So, yeah. But As well as that, I'd like to thank A Dog in My Lens, by the way, for bringing up this to me. This was actually a very good point. I just didn't think of it at first, because I saw this situation going on. I kind of ignored it. I went, yeah, whatever. Nintendo's going to keep on putting out 3DSs anyway. Then they put this out, and I didn't think about that court case at all. And then she says, oh yeah, court case. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. So, again, all the credit to her. And as always, take it easy. Thank you guys for watching.